Find your passion. Try on as many hats as you can. Try to find the one that you find most fulfilling, whatever it is. And that may change throughout your life. But it's okay to keep trying those hats until you find where you want to end in the end. Hi, I'm Dr. Cathleen McCabe, and this talk is really geared for people earlier in their careers. And I just wanted to say how wonderful a career being an ophthalmologist is. We have so much versatility in what we can do. And we're going to cover from Fez to Fedora, the many hats of ophthalmology, and really the many hats of life. So as we go through our career, I believe that this is true. To truly understand a business, you have to wear all the hats before you can take some of them off. And so that can get pretty busy. You don't have to wear them all at the same time. And clearly there's a lot of different ways you can provide ophthalmic care or make an impact in our industry throughout the course of your career. Not to mention we all have families, we have, husbands, wives, children, parents, and those are an important part of our life, not to mention other interests and hobbies. So what is ophthalmology? Well, one hat of ophthalmology is research. So I spent my undergraduate doing research. I was really interested in having a career where I could continue to do so. And it's definitely possible. You could spend all your time being a researcher and work in a university. You could actually decide to do FDA trials or your own small IITs, investigator-initiated trials or small trials you're doing in your practice. You can collaborate with others. There are many different networks to get together with like-minded ophthalmologists who want to make a difference and answer questions. So research, it's a fun way to be on the cutting edge, discover new ways of treating things, collaborate with colleagues, and always deliver the utmost newest thing for your patients and move our field forward. So another thing you can do as an ophthalmologist is mentor and teach. And if you're a young ophthalmologist, there are many networks you can now get involved with. The YO program through the AAO, GERSO, which is the Global Educational Research Society of Ophthalmology, has a young ophthalmology part of it, so that's global as well. There are opportunities through industry to have training on different equipment, and that's a great place to network. You could go to something like Millennial Eye, which is a smaller meeting that's targeted toward the younger ophthalmologist as well. I love teaching in wet labs, like I am in the left there. It's great to host younger ophthalmologists in my practice. I know many of my colleagues feel the same. And it's great to just operate with other people who are earlier in their training. So I highly recommend teaching and mentoring as a way to enhance what you're doing in ophthalmology. Clearly, one of the reasons that a lot of us got into ophthalmology was for the surgical aspect. It's a highly impactful, highly technologically advanced, always evolving subspecialty. And just being able to move that forward as well and seeing the evolution over my career has been great. Interacting with our patients from birth to the last part of their life in an impactful way that improves their quality of life or helps to solve a disease problem is really fabulous as well. So yet another hat of ophthalmology. Ophthalmology also provides leadership opportunities by being involved in our national and global organizations, such as in America, the Outpatient Ophthalmic Surgery Society, the American Academy of Ophthalmology, the American Society of Cataract and Refractive Surgery, and there are equivalents of that in Europe, in Asia, and across the globe. And you can get involved in those national or even international societies like GERSO that I mentioned before. There's a chance for advocacy in wherever you're located. And in America, in the spring and in the summer, we have fly-ins to Washington, D.C., where you can meet with representatives and congressmen and try to effect change on the regulatory side of things. So lots of opportunity there for leadership as well. Ophthalmology is also an opportunity to partner with industry. And by doing that, we can make new products, new devices, get our ideas out there, and find ways that are really effective in making change for how we deliver care, how we solve problems, how we look at diseases, and what tools and devices and pharmaceuticals we have to do that. So development of technology, even working with very small startup companies or starting your own startup company, that's another way to be an entrepreneur and an inventor and use your skills to put on that hat as well. Another hat in ophthalmology is having an expert opinion. And so you can do that by consulting with venture capital. Sometimes that will happen. People who are interested in investing in devices and technology or even practices in ophthalmology. And also as a legal expert opinion. And that's something that really is something that speaks to certain people and they find that interesting and intellectually stimulating. Try it on, see if that hat fits as well. And then there's an opportunity to give back. And I find this to be the most fulfilling thing I do. And that's community outreach, either on a local level by providing care to those who are underserved and maybe lost in the system as far as coverage goes in your own communities. That's easy to do through Eye Care America and the ASCRS Foundation. And now OOS is partnering as well in America to help to connect ASCs with physicians and surgeons who want to provide care. So in America, those would be the organizations. I know globally, there's a lot of opportunity. I love going on global missions as well. And that's what I'd like to talk about at the end of this talk. So in the end, you want to find the hat or hats that fit you best. And it may be a whole collection. It may be that you really concentrate on one or two of those aspects that we talked about, or others that I didn't even cover. But for me, the thing that gives me joy and that I feel most passionate about really is the ability to provide care, high-level care to underserved people, either in my community or globally. And I love the experience of being able to go in and make a meaningful impact for an individual on their quality of life. But I also have been more involved in trying to find systems that will help to provide that care and help even the local area to continue to provide the care when you're not there. This is a mission that Tim Page in Michigan leads to Kenya. And I was able to bring my children, this Dr. Page on the right and my daughter Casey on the left. And we were able to help a variety of patients really in need there. And I'll go back again this year. And it's just a wonderful thing to be able to share with my children as well, this passion. And this is my son on the right and a young boy who had just been injured by his brother who threw a rock at his eye a week before we got there. Missions, in my opinion, allow you to hone your skills by having to be comfortable in a variety of environments. And I often bring back ideas or ways of approaching things I wouldn't have thought of if I hadn't had to think outside the box. And this was one of those cases. I had to use a handheld little battery operated vitrector that was designed to tap for a tap and inject to do a vitrectomy for this little boy. It worked out really well. And then we've been involved in a long-term mission into St. Vincent and the Grenadines. This mission was set up about 35 years ago by an ENT doctor named Dr. Massey. It was called Mobile Medical Mission Hospital at the time, in cooperation with local Lions Club, and has provided eye surgery, optometric care, and clinical eye care and glasses distribution at least once a year for the last 30 plus years. And my family has been involved in this as well. Since about 2003, we've been bringing missions there on a yearly basis. And we are now taking this to a new level by trying to incorporate into that the ability to have a facility where we can have improved technology and greater access for the now local doctors that also provide indigent care there. and it will be a more educational center for them as well. But this is where we see the patients outside of the surgical area. And if you look on the bottom right, just outside that area is the cemetery right behind the hospital. And so it's an opportunity to do all the things we were talking about before: teach, mentor, educate, and provide this care. And you meet people along the way that are life-changing as well. And when you hear their stories, this is Dr. Cecil Cyrus, who received a Medal of Honor from the Queen for his dedication to the people of St. Vincent. And that's a story that you can learn by finding out more about Sight for Life. And that's our 501c3 for St. Vincent. It's a nonprofit supporting that mission. We purchased Dr. Cyrus's museum building, and we are going to have that as a facility to allow for more missions throughout the year, more access to equipment and OR time for the local doctors, like Dr. Orly Adams on the bottom right there. And it will be a base for outreach and education in the region, we hope, in the future. So if you're interested in finding out more about Sight for Life, please take a picture of this QR code, and that will link you to some videos and information and our webpage. So in conclusion, find your passion. Try on as many hats as you can. Try to find the one that you find most fulfilling, whatever it is. And that may change throughout your life, but it's okay to keep trying those hats until you find where you want to end in the end. So I wish you all luck, and thank you for your attention.